joining. This meeting is being recorded.
Okay.
All right, people jumping in. Hi, Kayleen, Samuel, Sandra, Tessa, Todd, Vika. All right, happy to see you all here. The way it usually goes, everyone. Hi, my name is George. I'm from Reply. We're gonna wait for a minute or two just to let people in, and we're gonna start with the session. Um,
Great.
Usually, yeah, let's just like warm people up. We always like to ask, I know it sounds like repetitive and dumb and everything like that, but we like to ask people where they join from, what they do, what their role is, because we work with a lot of different customers from all parts of the world, and it's always interesting to see some names I recognize, but please, people, if you don't mind, yeah, share where you're from. Dnipro is, for those of you who don't know, is a city in Ukraine, where I'm from, by the way.
Okay.
Thanks, Alex. Stan from Kiev. Yeah, we have a bunch of people from Ukraine, being a company with Ukrainian roots.
Amazing.
Um, I would like to introduce Shira. I apologize for not doing that. Shira is our partner here at Reply. This is part of our kind of partner introduction series of webinars here at Reply, where we want to showcase successful and interesting technologies that work in conjunction with our tool, reply.io. So Shira, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Shira. Thank you, George. I am based in Israel. So if there is a red alert, I will have to abort and run to the shelter, but hopefully it will be quiet tonight. I own SSC Digital, which is a lead generation company. We've been around for about 13 and a half years. And the last year and a half, we've pivoted from just a service-based company to a tech company. And we've built our own AI technology called SmartReach AI. And as George mentioned, we've integrated it into Reply. And so just from a high level, what we're able to do, and I'll dig a little bit deeper, but from a high level, what we do is we are able to hyper personalize the entire email from start to finish for many, many recipients at scale through our technology, and then send out the emails via Reply.
Right, and that's what we're here to talk about. So hi everyone else joining. Hi Dave, hi Tessa. Let's probably get started. Uh, uh, Usually people ask, is this being recorded? Yes, this is being recorded. Yes, we're going to be sending the recording afterwards, because usually a lot more people register for the event and don't have the chance to join for whatever reason. So we're going to be sending this out to people who registered. And I wanted to start with, let me just start sharing a quick presentation here to kind of to help people understand why we're here and what we're going to be talking about. And that has to do with AI. You guys share, do you see my screen? Am I sharing it correctly? Perfect. All right. So let me do the full screen. This looks nicer. So we at Reply, uh, we are kind of at the forefront of using artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence in sales. That's a very broad definition. It applies to many different aspects of sales engagement process in general, from how we get leads to what we send to them. But being one of the pioneers, this is kind of like, it sounds almost like salesy, but we were one of the first companies way years before ChatGPT kind of blew up. We started using technologies from OpenAI for certain bits of functionality inside Reply, and we kind of recognize this as the path forward. And as of today, this is kind of it's probably there's no more question that most functionality, most sales function inside any B2B sales organization will be facilitated or replaced by AI. So I forgot that I wanted to start with a question. So for those of you who are in the chats, let us know. And by the way, this is evolving. I ask this question in different in a different way on every event that we're doing, and I'm seeing a shift. I'm seeing even the change in percentage of how many people respond with yes. So let us know if you consider and you use reply in your day-to-day work, not just AI curious, but if you are using tools and approaches and technologies, not just randomly create a template in ChatGPT, but consistently use artificial intelligence in your day-to-day work, whatever it is. It could be video generation, text generation, a certain let's say list building functionality facilitated by AI. Let us know if you consider this to be indispensable as of today. But anyways, quick kind of agenda, what we're going to be talking about today. Again, hammering this down, it sounds repetitive, but it's important. Why everyone should pay attention to AI, especially in B2B sales, the space that we're in. We're going to be talking what SmartReach AI is and what it does and how it does it. Again, full disclosure, we have been working with Shira in the agency capacity for years. They have years and years and millions, without exaggeration, of emails sent and analyzed under their belt to build an AI model and to train an AI model that would take advantage of that. So we're going to talk about that and how it makes the lives of reply users easier by having direct integration. And we're going to also be answering some questions if you have any. So moving on, with AI, the typical kind of struggle that we're seeing, even here internally, is the abundance of tools that are saying that they're based on AI. And it's difficult to kind of separate fluff from what actually matters. We have excellent content folks here at Reply, including our VP of growth that's constantly updating these lists and creating graphics like this. So feel free to follow us for this. But that's the downside. But the upside is, based on these facts, which I've already mentioned, I've tried to collect some facts across different sources, but not like random, Reddit subreddits, but sources like Gartner, like Forbes, like Salesforce, HubSpot. All of them say the same thing. So 60% of seller work to be executed by AI. Gartner kind of analysis. 97% of business owners believe ChatGPT will help their business. So it's already here. It's way past like, is it actually disrupting? It has already disrupted and continuing to do so in the sales space. AI tools are saving sales professionals 2 hours a day, according to a HubSpot study. The upside. So what are we getting from this? Basically, again, everything that we've talked about before. AI has a certain implementation on every single step of the process. This is not, I'm not discovering something completely new. All of you, or most of you, already know this, but like when we look at the specific steps in the sales cycle, all of them are already either AI assisted or AI what's it called, generated or completely done by artificial intelligence. Lead generation, finding people, finding the right contact, finding the right contact at the right time with the right information. List building, enrichment. As an example, quick plug, we have AI SDR agents that can find you contacts. We have live data that finds you contacts as a live sort of like ongoing agent that would keep finding relevant and accurate B2B contact information for you. sales forecasting, sales engagement in bold, because that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Things like outreach automation and personalization of that outreach at scale. Sales enablement, teaching and training sales professionals with content recommendations. Not trying to stay away from mentioning some companies that might be considered competitors, but there are companies that would be kind of training you and coaching you what to say, what not to say right on that call. Customer success, after you've closed the customer, how do you help them achieve better results, greater success? Data insights, generating analytics, predictive customer behavior, analyzing data sets to understand, is this customer successful? Is it not? Are they going to unsubscribe? Are they going to stay, and kind of jumping on that opportunity when the time is right? Sales process optimization, a lot of kind of internal sales kitchen to automate repetitive tasks. That's where we're on the mission to do that. It's not for us, it's an ongoing process. We're always doing something new, something that would make our lives more automated, easier, more efficient through automation, through the use of AI, and identifying best practices to improve the overall sales process. How do we identify a sales motion or a sales playbook that's so great that it should be identified easy, quickly, and replicated across the rest of the sales team? So anyways, these are some of the kind of advantages of understanding and having a good grasp of the AI tools out there. And as one of those instances of how AI, artificial intelligence, could be used in practice, we're going to be looking at SmartReach, and this is where I wanted to give the mic to Shira to share the screen, and kind of feel free to take it from here, Shira.
Sure, will do. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do now is just share my screen, and just let me know if everybody could see. Can you guys see my screen?
The amount of those icons always make.
Do you see this SmartReach?
Yes.
Okay. So here you could just see it. There's a few just open now. Do you see that? Okay, you could see the SmartReach website?
Yes, and four
Wonderful.
more
Just
tabs.
to make sure. Okay, wonderful. Okay, guys, so yeah, just picking up from where George left off. So absolutely, there's obviously a lot of upside to using AI. One of the biggest upsides that we've found for SDRs and for anyone that's doing cold outreach is the actual time that it can save you when you use a tool like ours to do what it does. So as George mentioned, just to start off, what we did was, because we have sent so many emails, it's, I think now over 25 million emails to date, what we realized is that we are sitting on a gold mine of data. And imagine if we were able to know what would be the best tone, the best voice, the best subject line, the best call to action. Should it be a hard call to action like, hey, how's Monday at 5 for a call? Or should it be a soft call to action like, are you interested, right? It's really difficult to know if I'm targeting the CEO of a manufacturing company in the US with 500 employees versus the VP of sales in the UK with 50 employees in the advertising industry, right? Each of them are going to reply or read an email and engage very differently. So imagine if we could figure out that secret sauce. And so what we did was we hired data scientists that actually came in and analyzed all of this data. And we're able to know now, based on our historical data of all the campaigns that we ran, what would be the best combination of email for each and every prospect that we're sending. But then we realized that we want to go further, because we really want to make it sound much more personal, that we actually spent time researching the prospect. So we all know when the SDRs actually spend time researching and crafting messaging that has to do with something that's listed on their profile to show like, wait, I'm not sending this email to everybody. It's not the same bulk email that I'm sending. This person actually did research on me, right? And so what we did is we infused it with hyper personalization. So that means that we're looking at their LinkedIn profile. We're looking at, did they post an article recently? What was their career journey, right? What are their interests? So there's a lot of things that you can find common ground with and also personalize each and every message. So one of the differences that we did from other AI tools is that instead of just hyper personalizing the first or second sentence, we actually customize and personalize the entire message from the hello to the sign off till the signature. So the entire message is different. And one of the benefits as well of this, as we all know, going into the Gmail and different provider situation of deliverability, one of the things that they flag you for very frequently now is sending the same email over and over. Even if you change the name and you change little aspects here and there, your emails will start going to spam. So with SmartReach, you're able to now create these hyper-personalized emails at scale. They're all different, so they don't get flagged as spam because they don't look like the same bulk email going out, and they really connect to the recipient because it looks like you've done all this research on them. But then we wanted to take it a step further as well, and we said, great, it's wonderful that we have all this historical data, but as we know, things change over time, right? The market changes, wars happen, COVID, all these crazy things that have happened in the last few years that, new presidents, a lot of things have changed, right? And so we want to actually see what's really happening in real time. So we built this learning engine that over time is learning based on different factors that we could see. How many people are replying, who's replying, with a positive reply, who's unsubscribing. And based on this, the system is learning in real time and constantly optimizing and getting better and better and better. So over time, you'll just see the results just keep getting better and better because the more it learns, the more it knows how to optimize and completely rewrite the messaging for you. So that is how SmartReach AI works right now. And yeah, George, happy to address, any questions that you have before I go into an actual demo.
Yeah, this is more less of a question, more of a comment. But I'm glad you brought up the personalization of the whole message, which is so important. One kind of example I keep bringing up is, AI personalization, lazy AI personalization, and one I think I posted it on LinkedIn not too long ago is when somebody wrote, "Hey, I see you live in Mississauga, which is just a suburb of Toronto in Canada." And it was like the first sentence was, "Hey, I you live in Mississauga. How about that traffic on 401, which is a major highway?" And then goes directly into like a hard sales pitch, was so
Yeah.
cringy. Which, by the way, everyone, after working for years with Shira, I discovered that she actually is from the Toronto area as well, just a couple of days
Yeah.
ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so speaking of personalizing the whole, I completely agree with the importance of the whole kind of not AI for the sake of AI, which is the worst version of it, but affecting both, or maybe I would say targeting two main goals, which is first, you obviously you do want to get a response. You wouldn't be doing it otherwise. But second, which is more technical, which is less obvious for a lot of folks, which is what you were talking about, which is variability of content. And basically that means what's the percentage to which the next email is different from the previous one. And if that is 100%, you can expect more of your emails, if not all of your emails, to be in front of somebody's human eyeballs and not in somebody's promotion or spam folder, which is relatively new. This kind of strict
Yeah.
behavior from email providers. It has been around for only a few months. Just this year, it was a completely different game even like half a year ago. So it's yeah, it's I'm glad to hear how SmartReach AI does that. I would be super curious to see it in action.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that point is so important because we call that the hook, right? It's from when you start your personalization, which can either be based on like an intent signal, like, hey, I see you're following, this company, or, you're a lookalike, like we work with this company that's similar to you, which is a great, starting sentence. But then it's that hook afterwards. That's like, how do you now connect that to your pitch? And that always gets really difficult. And we spent like 8 months working just on the hook. Okay. So that's how difficult it is. But we also took it a step further. And I'll share with you in a moment that we realized that, everybody has different tones and styles that they really like. And some people will look at the messaging and be like, wow, it sounds AI to me. And some people will look at it and be like, wow, you blew me away. Right. So there was always different opinions. And so what we did recently was we created the ability to edit the messaging, and not just edit it, but that's part of the learning engine. So when you edit the messaging in your style, okay, your tone, your style, you're teaching the system how you want future emails to be written. So before it goes live, you could spend time editing 5, 10, 15, and you've taught the system, and I'll show you guys how you do that. And that way you're happy and it's writing like you in your style, and not a ChatGPT style, as an example. Okay. So let me go into the system and kind of show you how it works. So this is the dashboard. Okay. It's very, very easy to integrate with Reply. You could see we are already integrated, but I'll just click on another tool just to show you. All you need to do is enter in your API key. It's that simple. So George, maybe afterwards you can share everyone where their API key is in Reply. But you take your Reply API key, you click save, and it syncs up, okay? And it's seriously that simple to integrate. That's all you have to do. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna actually run a campaign. So to run a campaign, we click on Smart Mail over here, as you can see. Let me just move this over here. And here you could see all of the different campaigns that we've actually run. This is one of our clients, Accounting Made Easy. And here are all different campaigns that we've run for them. And you could see that it's been completed. You could see how many prospects we ran. You could see the date. And here you could see the reply button as well, which means that after it runs, you can send it straight to reply. You can also automate that. So I'll show you how that works in a moment. But the good news about this is when you enter in your prompts, you could do 2 different things. So let's just click start a new campaign. So I click on this. It's going to take me to select a sequence. Okay, let me just actually go to this sequence, the test sequence, and I'm going to start with my template. Okay, the first thing you do when you start with your template is you enter in your sequence name. This name should be the same name as your sequence in Reply. Okay, so this is important. You also should put in who is sending the email and what language. Right now, we only have English, but in the next few weeks, we're going to be launching many other languages. So stay tuned for that. Including French and Hebrew. We've gotten a lot of requests. Okay, and now you go into the prompt. So again, what you can do and what I highly recommend you do is segment your audience here. It could be segmented by an intent signal, okay, which I'll share with you how you can enter that in a moment. It could be segmented by an audience. So you could say, I only want to target CEOs with this. And so this is, and I highly suggest doing it that way because the pain point of your target audience is going to change based on who they are, right? So the pain point here that you're really plugging in is based on your target audience pain points. What are they struggling with in their day-to-day, work that you can help solve for them? What's a problem that they need a solution for that you could potentially solve? And then you enter in as well, which is great when you segment it. You can enter in social proof, which are, other customers of yours right now. And you kind of want to make sure that it's talking to, if I'm targeting CEOs, social proof of companies that CEOs would recognize. And as well for strategic advantages. So here's all the information that you are giving it to teach the system what is critical. What are the pains? Who are your existing customers? What are your strategic advantages that set you apart from the competition? Obviously, a description of who you are. And then we've also built something that's somewhat new called Smart Signal. And this is coming out next in our platform is going to be Smart Data, where we're going to have different signals associated with the prospect. So you're going to know, for example, are they following a competitor? So you can say, following our competitor, BGE. Let's say that's a competitor, okay? Or you could say, commented on Shira Simmons' post about accounting, okay? Just as an example. So these are all different signals of how you found the prospect. You found them because you scraped the list that they commented on Shira's post, okay? That's just an example. And then you're going to click continue, okay? And here you're going to I'm just actually going to go here because I uploaded the list. So once you click continue, you have the option to upload the list straight from reply. So if you've set up this campaign, all you need to do is click upload from reply and you could find your list and upload it, okay? Or you could choose to upload it here. You have two options, okay? But I've already uploaded a list. Once I upload the list, you could see it displays the list for you. And these are the only columns that we really need for you to upload. I think it's 7 columns. And based on this, we're able to populate each email. We're going to create a hyper-personalized email or even a sequence of emails for each and every person that we just uploaded, okay? And here now you go to the next step. You can decide how many emails you want to generate in your sequence, okay? So this is important because it will automatically then add this to reply, okay? So if you say I want to have 5, 7, you decide. And based on how many you select, it tells you how many tokens it will be. So let's just say I'm going to do 3 for now. And then is the call to action. So here you have some options as well. So you could say, I want to book a call. And when you select book a call, the system will decide what is the best day and time. That's also part of the learning engine. So we'll know for this persona in New York, it's best when we suggest a Wednesday or a Tuesday at 10 a.m. or after 12. That usually works the best. So it will plug in the time that it suggests that really does work the best. Another option is to say, you know what, I want to not suggest a time. I want to book a call, but I want to give them my calendar link. So here you can insert your calendar link and the system will plug in your calendar link. Okay, and you could say, and the system will write, book a call with me, based on your convenience, select the time that works for you best. Okay. Or you could drive them to your website. Okay, that's another call to action if you don't want to book a call. If you're driving registrations, you can ask them to register online. If you have a free trial, you could drive them to a free trial and it'll insert the link. If you have a beta, so these are all just different call to actions, but most people that we work with are usually booking a call, okay? These are also great functionalities and features that you can play around with. So here you can decide, you know what, I want to keep my emails super short and it will create shorter emails, okay? This is the feature that I mentioned earlier where you don't need to do anything else after you set this up. It automatically uploads it to reply and you could sit back after you've clicked the next, continue button. That's all you need to do. You can decide, you know what, I don't want to auto upload it. And why would you choose not to do that? Because if you want to edit your emails, you don't want to auto upload. You want to have the opportunity to edit them and teach the system your tone and your voice. And so you're going to not auto upload it. Also, what's great about the tone optimization features, if you think about it, we're doing a tremendous amount of A/B testing behind the scenes. So with the tone optimization, we're trying all different tones for all different personas. Okay, so we could say, for example, let's try a humorous tone for this persona. And it's A/B testing and then optimizing based on what tone is working the best. And then lastly, this is a really great feature that I love. This is where it becomes even more personal. If you enter in your LinkedIn profile, okay, so George, if you were to do this and you were to enter in your profile here, your LinkedIn profile URL, the system will find commonality between you and every prospect that you uploaded. So it may say for us, hey, Shira, I see that you were born and raised in Toronto. How about that 401 and all that traffic, right? So it would say that because it can find common ground between the two of us, okay? And it does that for each and every prospect. Then all you need to do is save it as a template. So everything you entered in is saved. You don't have to re-enter these prompts if you don't want to. You click continue, and the system then runs the emails. Okay. Now it's run the emails, and now I'm going to show you how you can actually edit the emails. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to show you some examples. What we've done is we've broken up the email into different segments. And this is how the learning engine is also learning from each and every segment. Okay. So let's say you don't like this kind of signature, just as an example. You can change it and teach the system this is how you like to sign off. You might like to say cheerio, and that's your tone. Or you might want to have a different type of call to action. The more you edit it, the more you teach the system your tone. Okay, you might want to say hey instead of hi. You might just not want to say the person's name. There's a lot of different ways you can edit it. But just to show you an example, you could see each one is completely customized based on their LinkedIn profile. Okay. And then we connect the hook here into about our clients, and then connect it into what this person is focused on. So this is just one example. I'll just click another one. Okay, you could see each one is completely different. Okay, your proven leadership track record. This one starts with I'm Mark, okay, because this is showing that this person and this persona likes for you to be introduced first. Okay, so again, and this is more of like a funnier tone, I would say. So you can see the system already is picking up based on what we know has been working best. Like I've been keeping an eye on the exciting projects. This is also like a little ego stroking that the system is doing based on this persona. This is talking about how they've, their career journey. They started with Verizon and now they're at FedEx, and how you're intrigued about their backgrounds. And again, if you don't like the word I'm intrigued as just an example, you can change this and teach the system not to do that again in the future. Okay. And I just want to stress that that's so important, because it's so important that you're happy with the output. At the same time, it's also very important to know that this is based on millions and millions and millions of emails. So we actually know what's based on the data. We always say, let the data lead us, what's going to work the best. Okay. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We have the, reporting on the homepage, but obviously your deeper reporting is found within reply. And then I'll just show you one last component. If you go to the campaign, to the smart mail, and you've done the edits, and now you want to send it to reply, you simply click the reply button and you're done, and it sends it automatically to reply. So that is SmartReach. So yes, I would love to know if anyone has any questions. George, if you have any questions, if there's anything you would like me to show.
I have a few. Actually, so I'm pretty impressed. I don't know where to start. So I've been with Reply long enough to remember myself thinking that we're never going to get to what you're showing right now, honestly. So, and this is not, I'm not exaggerating. I've started with the company in the sales role. Now I'm more in the partnerships role, but I remember myself day to day talking to customers and telling them, you know what, if you can afford to spend a bit of time, spend a minute or two, 5 minutes to go on their LinkedIn, check what they're doing, and try to connect with your value proposition, but make it into a task. And Reply does have task as a step type. The downside has always been, we said, if you can afford to do it, if you have the time and the resource, or if you put it the opposite way, if you can't afford not to get a response from this individual, you have to do it. So what you're showing is really impressive. Again, to Georgia 5 years ago, if somebody would tell me that all of this would be done fully automatically, this is amazing. One thing, actually, a couple questions I had was, first of all, I didn't not a question, more of a comment. I didn't know about tone optimization, and it also seems like, again, one of those missing pieces that others don't think about, at least other kind of emerging AI-based technologies. Why? Because even based on our campaigns, we've been creating our own sequences for years, and we're a company. We have a team account at Reply, Reply account that we're using ourselves for our outreach, cold and warm, inbound and outbound. A lot of the time, it's a collaborative action. And if somebody's creating sequences that I will be sending as George, I never kind of it's my personal thing, but I would never launch it without reviewing it. And a lot of the time, I would say no. I would never say that. I don't feel comfortable, sending something like Toodaloo or whatever the language.
Yeah.
I will not be saying that. So I would spend my time and have to rewrite it. So having kind of training the model so that it learns from you and knows the tone of voice is extremely important.
Yeah.
Same goes for LinkedIn URL, the commonality. Probably the good thing that I haven't seen SmartReach AI demo in a while is that I'm so impressed on this call. Um, I wanted to ask. So obviously there's a lot already, and it's already pretty impressive. But being a software business, for instance, I know what's coming next for Apply. I wanted to ask if you're comfortable with sharing anything that's around the corner that is going to be added soon.
Yes, for sure. So I love it. By the way, this is something that just energizes me so much, is working on all these new components. So there's actually a few coming up that are going to be launched probably in conjunction, I would say end of December. So the first is that we actually want users to be able to feed it more information about their company. So for example, specific case studies. So there's going to be a section where you can add more information, and you could do industry-based case studies, and the system will pull a case study to showcase within the sequence based on the responses. So that's one new feature that we're going to be adding as well. Languages is also something. I think somebody had asked if it was American or British. Right now it's American, but I would say in a week we're going to have the British option as well as many, many different languages. And I would say also we're going to create the ability as well to input the system with previous emails that you guys have ran, okay, that you found to be successful. So another way to kind of teach the system quicker is for you to give it examples of previous sequences that you've run. So you can actually upload those sequences, and you could tell the system, write very similar in this style and tone to my previous sequences. So George, that would really also make you feel a little bit more comfortable if you've ran sequences in the past. So you know that the system is going to write in a similar manner to what you've already written, and it will prevent you from having to do so many edits, because the system will have your examples to start with. So those are a few features that are being launched. But I would say most importantly is the smart data. And that's really going to be focused on intent signals. We're calling them smart signals. And as I mentioned earlier, it's really about finding the right people that are showing that there's some type of intent. For example, with Accounting Made Easy was one of our clients that does finance training for non-finance employees. It could be that they're hiring a trainer, right? And so that's a good indication that they might be looking for something like Accounting Made Easy. It could be that they're following one of their competitors. It could be that they've posted on LinkedIn and they have a ton of comments of your target audience that are commenting and engaging. It could be they're going to an accounting event. So we're going to be adding these signals. So imagine now that you have the ability to find these people that have shown some type of intent, and then marry that with a hyper-personalized, research data-backed message. Your conversion rates will be that much higher. So those are the new features that we're working on to the end of the year.
Nice. I had a question which kind of ties nicely with what Tessa, we have been seeing your questions. Sorry for not reading them earlier. So she was asking early on, how can we make sure it doesn't sound so AI? Like, do you
Yeah.
have guidelines? I'm assuming you have some prompts baked in that say don't sound like AI, but
And we've worked so that I'll be honest with you is probably the biggest challenge for any AI writing tool. And that's why exactly we did the edit feature, so that you can remove and teach it what you like and what you feel sounds AI. And I would say the next feature that we're adding, with being able to add your emails that you are happy with, that you wrote, also will teach the system how to write in that way. So we're working on all these different mechanisms, and we've built these mechanisms to make it sound, not so AI. And I can just share as well, just like the responses that we're getting are like, wow, you really, personalized and did your research, or I never answer cold emails, but because you did your research, I'm happy to answer you, right? And we're closing from there. So, the response rate so far has been very, very positive.
That's the best type of response, even though it might not be a direct kind of sales opportunity. Getting that feedback, I
Yeah,
just from
yeah,
my own experience. And yeah, speaking of not sending, I'm just hoping you guys don't send anything like in today's competitive world or in today's dynamic world or whatever.
yes.
Whatever a sentence starts like that, I'm closing
Yes,
whatever I'm
yes,
reading.
yes.
Uh,
Even like the system now is like, I was really impressed. So some of our clients don't like that, some love it, I was really impressed with how so we teach
yep.
the system for certain clients not to say the word impressed because they feel like that's very AI, right? So again, it's kind of subjective and you need to work with it, but once you show it what you like, it learns from that.
Right. And the other question from Tessa was, how long does it take for the learning engine to work? I'm assuming that applies to generating a sequence or maybe long term, like how long does it take to adjust to your style and well, actually, if you can answer to both, like,
Sure. So the learning engine, in terms of giving you the best output for each prospect, has already been learning on everyone else's messaging to each prospect that we've sent. So right away, you get to take advantage of the data that we have to show you what's going to work best for each and every prospect that you're targeting. So right away. Now, in terms of your editing, I would say edit 10 to 20 times, and it should start picking up your edits straight from there. So those are kind of the two ways. So you're teaching the system how to rewrite it in your kind of tone and style, but it's still going to know when it should drop in the pain points, right? For example, or when it should name drop clients, which personas would respond best to when you name drop a client, and which client should it name drop, right? All these things, the learning engine is going to be learning. I would say after running your campaign 2 or 3 times, it starts kicking in.
got it. Uh, I had only one more question. Let's see if anyone else has any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat. But I think I saw somewhere there you were. Oh, speaking of the meeting booking, I was just curious if, and I'm sure you have analytics, but this is something I personally usually kind of struggle with. Like, what's the best call to action should be considering what I want, like what my ideal CTA should be, which is I want to get on a call. I want to get on a meeting, especially if it's a cold email campaign. But you have multiple options. You have like more like text-based suggesting times to book a meeting versus sending a calendar link. Do you have any insight on what works most of the like what works better in terms of the CTA for having somebody to book a meeting with you?
Yeah, so first of all, I would definitely A/B test it, because what we find is every client is a little bit different, right? Every company is a little bit different, and it depends on who you're targeting. Also, different markets and countries respond differently. So I would definitely set up an A/B test with 2 different campaigns. One is just your calendar, link, and one is the booking the call. In our experience, the booking the call does work better, and the calendar link works better once they've already replied to you. So to go straight from, hey, I'd love to jump on a call with you. How's Monday at 10? Or hey, is this of interest? Usually does work better than the calendar link, because people are a little bit concerned when they first get an email to click on a link. Are you real? Are you not? And then when you reply, you can send your calendar link to book the call. That's in general. I mean, obviously there's some exceptions, but in general, that's where we see the highest bookings.
Got it. Yeah, makes total sense. When people already kind of somewhat trust you by responding to you, it just makes so much sense. Like here's my calendar. We're not
Exactly.
not in the like early 2000s when that was sort of like still new. I remember myself starting off in a sales role uh, way like years and years ago. I would be hesitant to click on people's links.
Yes,
Uh, but yeah, it makes total sense. Okay, so
I'm just gonna type in, somebody just asked where they can find more info. So I'm just giving our domain, smartreachai.com.
perfect. Yeah, I think this has been pretty impressive. Like I said, Shira, always, I'm always so happy to see what people build in conjunction and on top of and in integration with our solution, being in that role, in the partnership role at Reply. So great job to you and the rest of the SmartReach AI team. Anything else you wanted to kind of close off with before we wrap this up?
No, I see somebody has their hand up. I'm not sure
Oh,
that works, to be honest. I see one attendee hand up. I don't know if that's on purpose, if somebody wanted to ask something.
actually, yeah. First time I'm seeing this as well.
How can we see who has their hand up? Let's check.
John. Yeah, we can let John
Um,
in to ask a
yeah.
question probably. Hi, John. You are on mute.
Hi, John. You're still on mute, John. Can we unmute John? No.
Maybe that was by mistake, but John, if you had any questions, feel free to send them over to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I would just say that, if you want to get started, we are giving all Reply users 50 extra smart tokens just by using the code Reply 2024. I'm going to plug it in here. And if you use that coupon code, you'll get extra tokens that you can start testing. And we also have a free trial. So you guys can start just, testing it out and seeing the messaging and editing and playing around with it at no cost. And you can even send the emails through your Reply account and test out the responses as well on the replies.
And for those of you who are not familiar with a reply or don't have a reply account yet, same thing. We have a free trial. You can test all of these things in action before paying a single penny. So feel free to do that. I just wanted to make sure I share this for the recording for those people who would like to add us on LinkedIn. Feel free to use these QR codes. I'm hoping I'm sharing the right window right
Yes.
now.
I
But other than that, it's been a great session. Thanks, Shira, again, and the rest of the team. Thanks, our team, for organizing this event. For those of you who haven't had a chance to ask a question but wanted to chat with us, again, that's my role and my passion to talk to people. So reach out to us. And yeah, again, thanks for everyone for taking the time to join us today, and Shira, to you as well.
Thank you, George. This was so fun. Thank you, everyone. And wherever you are, have a great day or evening.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye.